Hari, Hari Gopalan, correspondent, Mr. Ratish, principal, Arvind Hari Gopalan. It's really a pleasure to be here. I came here this morning and it's been a long time since I came to this campus. It's almost 10 years. I was here last in 2003 and it was quite a different place at that time. The main building, the one there, had just got inaugurated, but the rest of the buildings were not there. This land did not belong to the school. So it's a very, very different place now. But going back a little bit, first time I really interacted with Hari Gopalan was in Harur in Dharmapuri district, where Hari was working with tribal women for their well-being. He was generating employment for them. They were producing a variety of goods. So some of us from IIT spent time with him in the villages, learning quite a lot of things. At that time, what struck me most about Hari was, he could sort of put on a pant and shirt and go and meet the collector, or get onto a ladder and get onto the roof and change a bulb. So all this could happen in the same day with no real gap. In our country, one of the big problems or one of the big issues, cultural issues, is that there is a very, very big divide between the mind and the hand. We have some people in this country who can think and who do think, and we have lots of people in this country who only do work with the hand. It's almost as if we believe that anybody who can think cannot do anything with their hand, and anybody who can do something with their hands cannot think. For me, Hari was the first example of someone who could think, who could write, read, speak brilliantly, and also be very, very competent with their hands. In any case, the next time I was here was in 1989. At that time, I was a young teacher in a school. I remember doing some science workshops, I think, for people here with some students as well as some teachers. And of course, then the last time I came was when the building was getting inaugurated. So in the last 10 years, it is very obvious, it doesn't need me to say it, there's been quite an amazing progress. There's been quite an amazing growth, I should say, in terms of numbers, number of students, number of facilities, number of achievements. It was quite impressive, the list that the vice principal read out of the champions and successful sports people that the school seems to be creating. So it's quite amazing to see all that progress. Before I go any further, I have a confession to make. I came here to give away prizes. Hari made me believe that what I had to do was stand on the stage, smile at children, and give away prizes. And once I got here, I realized I had to speak. Then I hopefully asked Hari, is it all right if I spoke for 15 minutes? Hari said, no, less than half an hour won't do. You've got to speak really long. We like the children to interact with you. But in a way, I was very happy that it was longer, because speaking precisely for a short period of time is much more difficult than rambling for a very long period of time. Every teacher knows this. Every teacher knows that 40 minutes is fantastic. It's a lot of time. You can say whatever you want. You can go a little bit here, you can go a little bit there. You can forget the topic, crack a joke, right? All teachers know this, and all students know that teachers know this. And do you know what is the favorite trick of teachers who are badly prepared? Can anyone tell me what's the favorite trick of any teacher who is badly prepared for a class? If they don't know what they're going to do, if they're not really ready, what will they do? Can somebody respond, please? Why don't you say something? Yes. Yeah? What do teachers do when
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
They'll take us to lab.
Oh yeah, okay. You have a good school, so they take you to the lab. You know, I used to teach in a bad school. So what I used to do was I would say, you know what, the best way to learn is to interact. So you ask me questions and I will answer. Right? I don't have anything to say, but I won't tell you that. What I'd say is, you know, best way for you to learn is if you interact with me. The more active you are, the more you will learn. So you ask me questions and I will answer. Right? And then somebody asks me a question about A, somebody asks me a question about X, so we can spend our time happily talking. Okay? So I'm going to use the same technique today, and I'm going to say, please interact with me. Right? So, like our friend here, you know, came up with an answer. I'd ask questions on some things, and I hope you would talk with me. And Hari has promised me that children in Sunbeam School are not shy at all. They're also not afraid. So okay. So should I ask them? Okay. Are you afraid of asking me questions? Then I hope you do. Okay. As we go along, I hope you stop me, ask me questions, give your point of view. Right? Please remember that doing that makes my job a lot easier. Right? Otherwise, I have to keep talking for 30 minutes, and I'm not sure if I have enough things to say to all of you. So I wanted to ask a kind of a provocative question, a question that is somewhat challenging, maybe a little bit controversial. You know, in the last 10 years, this school has clearly grown. It has clearly become bigger, there are more students, it has become 2 schools, there's lots of achievements, very good results, I'm told. All that has happened. But I want to ask a question. Does this growth actually signify progress? Does it signify development? If I were to ask you that question, I don't know. I'm coming back to your school after 10 years, and the only person I've spoken to today in the school is Mr. Hari Gopalan. It is not likely that Mr. Hari Gopalan is going to tell me anything like, no, there is no progress, there's no development, etc., etc. So I want to ask you, if I were to ask you, in what ways do you think your school has progressed, has improved, has developed, not just grown? Are you seeing the difference? Am I making sense? Look, from 100 children, you've become 1,000 children, let's say. Right? That's just growth. But there is something called progress, there's something called betterment, there's something called development. Is that happening? Yeah, I heard some yes. So can somebody tell me how? In what? Yes, go ahead. Shout. Shout, shout. I'm sorry to be doing this, but I think it's really worthwhile listening to the children.
Sir, he planted more trees, sir, and he improved the environment of our school, sir.
Okay. You planted a very large number of trees and improved the environment of the school. That's a very, very good answer. Can someone else add? Is there another dimension? Is there something else? Yes. So you have smart classes. What does that mean? I've heard of smart children, but what is a smart class?
Edcom class, sir. Edcom.
Say a little bit more about it. I don't know what it is.
Edcom.
What is EDICOM? Explain it to me.
Visual instruction.
Instruction? Don't be shy. Just say whatever comes to your mind. What makes your class smart?
Visual instruction.
You have multimedia, visual instruction. You have
Sir?
Computers. Yes.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes. I don't
Sir.
know where you are, but go ahead and speak.
Sir, EDUCOM class is for visual learning. That is for more better forms of learning, sir. Rather than most of the children will be bored for learning the books, sir. So it will be very, very interesting for them for learning visually so that their knowledge, their creative knowledge will be improved.
Right. So that's another dimension in which there's been real progress. Okay? Excellent.